back to Kimberly. Today we shall go forth with Chapter 11, The Cozy Cave. After weeks and weeks, the rain stopped and we were free again. We heard the birds sing and felt the warm, sunny air on our faces. Our seats were coming up. Spring was here and there was plenty to be done. We were full of joy. We visited Tent Home to find it blown to pieces by the storms. Everything was soaked. Our old boat was ruined. We knew that we had to do better next year. We found our way to the cliff face beside the beach and decided to dig there a cave for storage. We drew a door and chalk and hacked away at it for 10 days, making it slow progress. Suddenly, with a loud thud, Jack fell heavily and called to me, "Father, my chisel has gone through." We laughed at first, but then we saw it was true. I reached through the hole, but there was only a small layer of rock between the cave and us. We all chipped away with real energy and joy and found that it was a great cave indeed. The whole family marched in, poking our way along a stick. And then, by candlelight, we saw that all around the cave was crystal and shining. Everything was sparkled and shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. I ran my fingers along the cave wall like it. I was right, it was a giant cave of salt. The floor was made of dry sand. It would be a fine new shelter. As we walked back, we all talked of how Falconer should not be our summer home only. The cave was perfect for the winter once it was all fixed up. We decided on the spot to call our new home Rockburg. We cut windows beside our door in the thin wall of the cave for light and air and divided our new home into rooms. We even built ourselves a chimney and a new stable within the giant space. One day while building, we saw a light in the water nearby and saw whooping birds flying in to eat all they could. We ran out and stood to watch. "What is it?" asked the boys. "School of herring," I answered. The fish were in shallow water and were easy to scoop out by the hundreds, using only our hands. There was no time to waste. With the barrels we had started to catch dry salt and store the herring for our next winter. Months later, even more fish came. They were giant sturgeon that swam their way along the shore. "Quick," said Jack, "let's catch him." "Yes," I answered, "but how? These fish are much bigger than herring." Jack ran off laughing and came back with a bow and arrow and his fishing line. He tied the line to the arrow and fired into the fish. Sure enough, he hit one in the side and almost pulled him into the river. "Help, Father, I'm going in," he cried, and we both pulled until the great fish was on the shore. Soon all of us were spear fishing, catching bigger and bigger fish. Fritz even got one that was 8 feet long. Too big for us to get out of the water. We had to get our buffalo to come and pull it out. We used salt from our cave to cure these fish for winter too. It seemed like food was everywhere. Our gardens were blooming and coming to life. Corn was coming up, as were fields of barley, wheat, rye, and peas. While the boys and I had been adventuring, my wife had been planting everywhere. Now we would all eat like kings and still store plenty of food for the coming winter. As we were coming out one day and looking over our crops, we came upon white fluff all over the ground. "Snow!" cried Franz. "No, my boy," I said, "this is not snow, it's cotton." And I was right. Soon we were gathering it into bundles for spinning and making more clothes. During this time, we started and finished many projects. It was a busy time as we were set to build colonies now. Found a perfect place to make a new farm with a grassy hill and shady trees along the river. We were determined to harvest all that we could from the land. I seemed a spot where we could plant cotton and other crops that might need for clothing. We set about right away to make a simple log barn on the spot so that our animals could be happy and safe on the land, even if we were not there. We built a place in the barn for animal stalls and perches for our birds. Found a hill nearby during this time and built a small college named Prospect Hill. It was a simple building of logs, but it would be a nice home for us to visit when we planted or cleared crops on this land. During this time, we also made a bark canoe from a tree. Tired but content after this busy time building our new farm home, we made our way back to Falconhurst and then to Tentholm. Upon returning, we found that one of our cows had bolted a calf. I asked Franz if he could care to train it. Of course, father, he said, and I will call him Grumble because of the noise he makes. We all thought this was perfect when we set back to work on our cave. We made the floor flat and finished our room. We even made a carpet from the hair of some of our animals. The next day was the first anniversary of our landing. We decided to call it Thanksgiving Day. I awoke that morning with a loud bang. Running out of the cave, I saw that the boys had fired the cannon to celebrate. They said they were sorry, but I could tell they were proud. We decided to celebrate with a day of sports. We started with archery, where Fritz was the champion, and then moved on to races. I sent Fritz, Ernst, and Jack from Tentholm to Falconhurst and bring me back a penknife I left there. They took off like a shot and were soon out of sight. But nothing afterwards, something very strange happened. Jack appeared to be speeding across the bridge, but he wasn't on foot. He was riding the buffalo, followed by a pair of donkeys. I saw that I wasn't going to win, he told us, so I thought I might as well come back in style. Ernst was first back with the knife and declared the winner. Next, it was the climbing test. In this race, Jack climbed a mountain goat and outshone all his brothers. He was up a tree faster than they could begin. Franz entertained us with a show. He came from the cave and announced, "Judges, I present you something new and amazing. I, the bull tamer, will now show you amazing tricks." Out came Grumble the bull on a leash, running, trotting, and jumping as we all clapped loudly. We finished the day with swimming. The boys were all very good, but Fritz again was the strongest. When the contests were finished, my wife was ready with prizes that she had to pull from our ship supplies. To Fritz, she gave the new award for shooting and swimming. His prize was a new rifle and hunting knife. Ernst, for winning the running, was given a gold watch. For climbing and riding, Jack got spurs and a riding whip, which made him very happy. Finally, Fritz got stirrups made of rhino bone and a whip for training. Lastly, I gave my wife a beautiful box I had found on the wreck and had saved it for a surprise. At the end of the day, the boys wanted to fire another cannon shot. We ended our day with a big bang that echoed along the beach. And it had been a great day, and I was amazed how far we had come in just 1 year. Well, thanks for listening. See you later.